This week on Cycle Fever, Bill and I are traveling 450 miles down the scenic Natchez Trace. Along the way, we'll learn some incredible history, meet some fellow bikers, and take in some beautiful American landscapes. The Natchez Trace National Scenic Trail lies within boundaries of the Natchez Trace Parkway and extends 450 miles from Natchez, Mississippi to Nashville, Tennessee.
Native Americans were using it. The Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Natchez Indian nations were using it as just a footpath going through the woods. And then the European settlers who were up in Ohio, River Valley, they decided they had items for sale, produce and whatnot, that they would generate on the farm. Then they would build these flatboats and come downriver on the Mississippi River down to Natchez, Mississippi, where they would sell the flatboat as lumber and then sell their produce, and then they would walk home. And it's 450 miles to Natchez.
Wait, let me stop you there.
Yes.
You said they would walk?
Now 450 miles seems like a lot to ride, but even more to walk. Bill and I chose to start in Nashville and head south on the Trace in hopes of still catching some color in the trees. Our first stop on the Trace was a significant one for explorers like us. On this site, Meriwether Lewis of the famous Lewis and Clark expeditions was buried after a tragic and mysterious death in his house nearly 230 yards south of here. You know, I kind of feel like we're Lewis and Clark, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I sure do.
And I take that I'm like Clark.
Well, Hank, you can't be like Clark. You're going to have to be Meriwether Lewis.
Why?
Because Clark's first name was William, and my first name is William. That's only natural.
In addition to commanding the famous expedition, Lewis was also a captain in the United States Army, a private secretary to President Jefferson, and a governor of the territory of Louisiana. Yet he never made one television show. Slacker. This is the mine? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
This is Napier Mine, Hank.
Yeah.
I think all that's left down here is like a great big hole in the ground, but they used to smelt iron here.
They smelt it? How did it
Yes.
smell?
Hank, for over 100 years, they made iron right in this spot. They pulled this iron ore out of this big hole, Hank. They had 60 guys down there mining that ore. And another 100 guys up in the furnace making the actual iron.
Did they strip it out, or were there holes where they dug the stuff out?
I think they just dug it right off the top of the earth. Out of the rough material, they got 50% iron out of it.
That had to be a rough life.
I mean, it's like in the middle of nowhere. It's hard to believe there's nothing left here now. It was only 70 years ago.
Wow, I'll tell you what, nothing like, you know, going out there and riding and having to have a stretch. About 100 miles, you know, you need to stop and enjoy yourselves. I'm going to take you down this trail, so why don't you come out with me? We'll go down the trail.
You're taking me down the path.
Happy trails to you until we meet
Please tell
again.
Please tell me you're Dale.
Now this is a
Brisk walk. I don't know how you do it in your short sleeves, man. You must be a true man.
Ah, yes, that and I don't have a jacket. So there's 13 graves here, Bill, and they don't know who they are, just that they're Confederate soldiers.
Yeah, they don't know if they were wounded in Shiloh or just walking back.
It says here's the original grave markers might have had names on them, but they disappeared long ago. So this came back in 1940 when they put this thing back together.
They don't know when they were killed.
Unknown? Unknown? This guy must have had a lot of brothers. Unknown? Bill, I know that we've been doing instant replay in the football,
Yes.
but I think that's a fumble. What do you think?
Very interesting play, Hank. I tell you what, I think the play has to stand as it's called on the field.
That's conclusively?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The striped shirts have made a wonderful ruling for the first time in the annals of sports, all sports.
I'll tell you what, that's a wrap because that's good. Instant replay works. You know what I mean?
I know. And for an instant replay, folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
from Canton, Mississippi. Welcome back to Cycle Fever. Hey, Bill.
What's that?
You know what? You know what I like about little towns? They knew we were coming, and look what they did for us. Isn't this great?
Hank, they didn't do this for us. We're right around the holiday season. This is Canton, Mississippi, folks. We're just outside of Jackson, Mississippi on the Natchez Trace. And I tell you what, it's a small town, USA. Doesn't get any better than this. They're all decorated for Christmas. We rode through here last night. It was absolutely gorgeous. We thought you'd like to see this.
Hey, and a special treat for you. We got the Bear Jamboree. If you listen real close, you can hear the music. I think it's the Cycle Fever theme song. What do you think?
It's gotta be. Hank, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. The weather's supposed to break.
Tell you, I'm looking forward to it. We got a neat place here tonight that we're in the park over here in Canton, Mississippi. You know, folks, when you're out riding around, don't be afraid to stop off in some of these little towns. We happened to ride through it. It was all lit up for us. I mean, they knew we were coming. The stars are out tonight. You see them?
I tell you what, they look like they're right in the trees. You can almost reach up and touch them.
You know what they say? Shoot low, they're riding shotguns. No, that isn't what they say. Beautiful day, sun's out, rain stopped. I'm over at the craft center. What's happening?
Richland Craft Center, right on the edge of the trace, Hank. Jackson, Mississippi, about 10 miles away. I tell you what, there's somebody I want you to meet in here. Why don't you come on in and see her?
Let's go see her.
Let me get this door for you, old man.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Hi, folks. We're at the Richland Craft Center just outside Jackson, Mississippi.
Let's do that right. It's the Mississippi Craft Center.
Okay. Hi, folks. We're in the Mississippi Craft Center in Richland, Mississippi, just outside of Jackson. And today we have Martha Garrett with us. Martha, what are we doing today?
We're putting a bottom in a chair. You know, when people first settled Mississippi, they didn't have anything but what they brought with them, which would have been an axe, a skillet, a gun, a knife, and nothing else. And so to make furniture, you used what you could come by. I have a hat made from corn shucks. I have a mule collar made from corn shucks. And a chair bottom in corn shucks will last probably 50 years.
So basically what you're telling me is the pioneers that traveled this trace in the early 1700s, they used everything. They didn't waste a thing.
Well, the Walmart wasn't around the corner. There wasn't even a general store. So if you couldn't find it or make it or grow it, you didn't have it.
What other type crafts do they do at the Mississippi Craft Center?
We don't want to give the impression that we're all traditional crafts. The Craftsmen's Guild of Mississippi runs the craft center here in Ridgeland. We have white oak baskets, we have contemporary wood and glass and pottery, we have weaving, we have quilts, we have beadwork.
You know, I'm at the craft center. I got rid of Bill and buying all my Christmas stuff. Got all this real neat stuff here. They have got some great things. I found a sucker that was for free. That's the cheapest I'm going to get out of this place, I know that. But they have got some outstanding stuff. Oh, my wife will love this basket. Oh, let me get that for Linda. Let's see, what else can I get here? Folks, I'm going to do a little bit more shopping right now, and I got to go find Bill. So let's see if we can find Bill and see what he's up to. Man. Hey, Bill, look at all the stuff I got for our wife. We not take another road trip.
I don't care.
Why not?
All I want to do is get on down the trace.
Okay, but I tell you, got so much stuff here for our wife. I'm sure they'll let us go again.
I'm tired of shopping.
I don't know where we're going to put all the stuff on the bike, though. You know, we got to get a bigger bike or a trailer or something.
Folks, Hank and I are at Ross Barnett Reservoir. It's a 50 square mile man-made lake. Just a little tiny bit north of Jackson, Mississippi, right slap on the Natchez Trace.
You know, for you folks at home that don't know this, but Bill does, I used to do a fishing show for many years, and this is one of the lakes that I used to fish on. And one time, Bill and I came here and I think it was January when we showed up. Was the 15th of January?
Yeah, right after Christmas.
There was ice and snow on the lake. As a matter of fact, some of the boathouses, the roofs collapsed because the snow was so heavy on the roofs.
I guess they're not built for that kind of stuff down here. I guess up north they might, but not down here. It must have been a freak snowstorm.
I'll tell you what, that was kind of a neat day. This is a great place to stop and kind of stretch your legs a little bit. Beautiful scenery. You just have it. You're great.
I tell you what, if you'd have stopped and got me a bucket of chicken, I'd be a lot happier. There'll be a lot more of Bill and the Short Guy when Cycle Fever returns.